In Jerusalem today, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio delivered a strong and morally grounded message calling on Qatar to remain engaged in efforts to free the hostages and to end the terror threat that's posed by Hamas. Rubio's remarks come after Israel targeted Hamas leaders in Doha. That was a controversial move that certainly drew condemnation from all across the region. But nonetheless, it was a move that Israel defends as necessary to protect human life. And joining me now to discuss this and more is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper. Casey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jody.
All right, let's go to Secretary Rubio's press conference with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Bring us the latest on that.
Yeah, that's right, Jody. So standing beside Prime Minister Netanyahu, America's top diplomat, that's Rubio, he said that Washington is focused on ending this war in a way that delivers justice, not only for the release of the 48 remaining hostages, but by removing the evil that is Hamas. Rubio made it clear that there could be no true peace, no hope for Gaza's future, as long as that terror group, the one that uses children as shields and glorifies death, remains in power.
We are focused on what happens now, what happens next, what role can Qatar play possibly in reaching an outcome here that leads not just to the end of this hostilities, not just to the release of all of the hostages, both living and deceased, not just the disarmament and elimination of Hamas, but also a better future for the people of Gaza, which isn't possible as long as Hamas exists, which isn't possible as long as 48 hostages are being held. And so we're going to continue to encourage Qatar to play a constructive role in that regard.
Now, Hamas has said that the Israeli strike you mentioned in Doha killed 5 of its members, including a son of its exiled Gaza chief. But its leadership survived. Qatar says one of its security agents also died. Now, Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani addressed the Islamic State's emergency summit earlier today in Doha and urged practical and decisive steps in response to what he called a cowardly and treacherous Israeli strike. He claimed the attack occurred as Hamas leaders were studying a U.S. ceasefire proposal. Now, Rubio is expected to travel to Qatar after his visit to Israel, Jody.
Thank you, Casey. Let me switch gears here real quickly on you. President Trump is saying that he now is planning to deploy some National Guard troops in Memphis, Tennessee to tackle the crime problem there. The president's saying it's a deeply troubled city. Can you give us the latest on what the president is doing to deal with the crime issue?
That's right. Actually, Jody, as we speak now, President Trump is in the Oval Office signing an order to deploy the National Guard to Memphis, Tennessee, with the permission of Tennessee's governor. And the reality is, Jody, that Memphis is consistently near the top of the list for violent crime in the U.S. And its residents have lived with that fear for years. Now, President Trump's supporters say his plan, it's not about federal overreach, it's about leadership where Democratic mayors have failed. He's done this before in D.C., of course, and he did see results. Now, Tennessee Democrats do oppose the deployment of National Guard in Memphis, and they say that sending the National Guard is, but supporters say sending the National Guard is a temporary but necessary step to stabilize the city, protect families, and give law enforcement the backup they desperately need, Jody.
Casey, thank you so much. We appreciate it.